What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 85 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today we've got a pretty big double header. It's going to be the Carabao Cup final. We're taking on Liverpool, and of course, following on from that, we are going to have a big game against Barcelona. It's the second leg of the knockouts, so if you missed yesterday's upload, make sure to go check it out already. We took on Barcelona as well as Manchester United in the league. I feel like today, in taking on Liverpool, we've got a slightly easier game. This is a Liverpool team that really have struggled in recent years. They have consistently fallen out of the European spots. To be fair, for them, a Europa League qualification would be a very good year. So this cup final probably means more for Liverpool than it does for us. Right now, you can see they are 8th in the league. They are even on points with Arsenal and Everton and do have a game in hand, in fact, over their Merseyside rivals. But with a +1 goal difference, I think it says a lot about this Liverpool team. This is a team that has fallen from grace. Their best player here is Jules, who, to be fair, actually, he's not that bad. He's not my kind of striker, I don't think. He's a little too slow, but he does look like a pretty good player. Signed for 64 million. He has been an ever-present part of their team, not bagging a whole lot of goals, but perhaps the player we need to look to shut down today. Anyway, if we just have a quick look at the schedule, since we were last here, we've played a couple of games. It's been a week and a half, and in that time we've played 2 games in the Premier League, not flawless, but a win and a draw. The first of which was against Arsenal. This was a disappointing result. We missed a penalty. They had a man get 2 yellow cards in the space of 8 minutes. It should have been an easy game. And then Adebayo missed a penalty. The good news for us, though, Correa scored from the corner spot, or the corner quadrant, right? It's a quadrant. I've learned that in a recent video. It's a quadrant, the corner circle bit. And they also got a goal through Romario. So 1-1, pretty disappointing. I mean, look at the XG. Look at the XG. It was one of those days. That's all I'm going to say on the matter, Your Honour. It was one of those days in Football Manager. But we didn't lose. The unbeaten run in the league goes on. And while we then took on Everton, where we scraped by, in the end, it was Poyana in the 80th minute with 10 minutes left on the clock who got the all-important difference maker. Really, really good goal for him. Take a bow, my son. And with that, we got an all-important win. Whilst we have got a big, point gap at the top of the table where we are relatively comfortable, I don't want to give anyone away back into this, especially because, all hands are really on deck to ensure that we get back-to-back Champions League wins. And of course, for today's second game of the episode, we are going into that match with Barcelona with a goal deficit. We are down 1-0. You can see, obviously, the game against Liverpool is now, and then in a matter of a few days, we've got Barcelona. But it is a little packed, our fixture schedule at the moment, so rotation is going to be important over the upcoming week or so. But for this cup final, I'm not going to rotate anything. I am going full strength. And the great news is that I can afford to go full strength. There are no new injuries to speak of. I'm hoping that this performance against Liverpool is going to be more resemblant of the league performance we put in against them recently, where we beat them 6-0, than the performance we had against Barcelona. But of course, over a single-legged fixture at a neutral venue, anything can happen. Anything will happen. We are the better team. We should be winning this comfortably. Let's do this for the fans. And of course, the Carabao Cup is a competition we have a very weird relationship in. We've won it, then not won it, won it, then not won it, won it, then not won it. If we want to win it 4 times in 7 years, we need to win this game here. Bizarrely as well, on the occasions where we've been knocked out in this competition, we've been knocked out on penalties a few times, which doesn't technically count as a defeat in the record books, I guess because you didn't lose in a regular, match in terms of extra time and 90 minutes. It does mean that in this competition, we're on a really, really long unbeaten run. I want to keep that going today as well if we can. And well, it's Devio to Navio. He dinks it towards the back post. Gonzalez, he's got a couple of men chasing him. Lays it off to Sampaio. Skips past his man. Sampaio gets past another, gets past more, and then he has a rush of blood to the head and smashes it into the side netting. It's not the way you want to see that kind of highlight end, is it? Let's put it that way. Not what you want to see. 20 minutes gone, though. They are having a lot of possession so far in this game, Liverpool. We are not really holding on to it. What I would say is they're not doing a great deal. They are yet to have a shot inside the first 30 minutes. And, well, we've had a handful of them. But as you can tell by the XG and the lack of highlights, this has not been an open, free-flowing, goal-scoring cup final just yet. Well, it could be about to get tricky for us as the ball is put into a dangerous area. Liverpool, first time we've seen them on the attack. Shaw at left back for them. His efforts blocked, and now it could be a chance to spring the break. With it down this near side. The number 7. Gonzalez is ahead of him. He takes it down. Who is that at the back post? It's Devayo. In the end, he lays it off to who hammers it home just the wrong side of the post, however. Well, I thought that was going to be the final chance of the half, but there might be one last twist in the tail. We have played the allotted added time, but we are still in possession in a dangerous area. Goes all the way back to Piotr. Can we get it into a dangerous area? Seconds left of the half. Largo gives it back to, De Volder. Largo. Switched over to Navio. Lovely build-up play. Can there be some end product? There can be. I think it's going to count. I think it's an own goal. And you know what? Jules, the guy we were talking at before the game, he's just scored an own goal. I don't know how that's gone in there. I don't know if we had the best angle. Looked like Gonzalez was making himself a nuisance at the near post, and through the confusion and ricocheting, it's ended up going in. I'm not going to complain. Fortuitous, perhaps, to take the lead. I'd much rather be getting this kind of look in the game against Barcelona than this one here, though. Going to tell the players I'm happy. Definitely room for improvement going into the second half, and now Gonzalez is injured. Oh dear. Right, Edison, come on. Of course, last year in the Champions League, in the first legs of the quarterfinals and the first knockout round, Gonzalez was injured. Both those games we lost, and then he came back into the team and we won the second legs. It might be that we're without him for a second leg here, depending on the severity of that injury, which would be a massive, massive blow. Make absolutely no mistake. But anyway, few highlights to start the second half. It looks like it could be a more open 45 minutes on the horizon. As Navio skips inside, past 1, past 2, gives it off to Tarasov. With it, Edison with it, Fred through Largo. The build-up play was superb. That save by Iturbe was fantastic, but Largo missing an opportunity there. He was pretty clinical against United, was Largo. Need him to find his goal-scoring boots, as Piccione is going to head it over the crossbar as well. Lots and lots of chances going in our favour. I'm just hoping that we are not going to live to regret not seizing these opportunities. With 25 minutes left, I feel inclined to make another change here. Is really struggling. On a booking, also looking fairly tired. I'm going to bring on Poyana on the right-hand side. I may also take off Devayo and bring in Karim Ballo to play out on the left-hand side. He has developed superbly this year, Ballo. And you know what? Let's give the kids a chance. The young guns, they're coming on. Ballo more frequently playing at centre mid for us, but he did start his career out on the left wing. Maybe he can give us a spark of creativity as we approach the last 10 minutes here. This is still a one-goal game. This could still go either way. Liverpool will not consider themselves out of it just yet. I feel like we do need another goal as well. Could it come here? Largo bringing it forward. A few options inside. Goes back to Sampaio. Back to Largo now. Nice build-up play here. Lots of space on this far side if we can work it over. Ballo holds it up nicely. Navio on the overlap. Tarasov plays it through to Ballo, who's fresh off the bench. He does very well to keep that in. Back now with Tarasov, the Russian, to the edge of the box to De Volder. We are knocking on the door here. Slowly probing, looking for that killer pass, looking for that opening. Could it come here? Edison finds himself through. His effort is saved. And, well, the angle was tight for the rebound. He elected to try and pass it. It's not worked out. Liverpool looking to spring a surprise of their own, but Ricky kicks it out into touch. I'll tell you what, this has not been as comfortable as I would like to see it be. But it does, I don't want to speak too soon, it does look like we're going to be okay here. A highlight with 3 minutes left, though. Maybe I'm talking too soon. Do not get ahead of yourself, Jack. Piotr to Sampaio. Plays it down the line to Poyana. 2 men at the back post queuing up. Can he pick out either of them? Ballo was there, superbly cleared away, but only as far away as Poyana. Dominating the ball. We are really just penning Liverpool in here at the edge of their box, and it falls to Ballo once more. Can he use a turn of pace? He can. It hits the woodwork. Thought for a second we might see a second away goal in off the back of the goalkeeper. But no, and the game goes on. 94 minutes played, 50 seconds and maybe a tiny bit more remaining. Is there a late twist in the tail here? Could we live to regret to miss the opportunities we've had? It's going to be a throw into Liverpool on this far side. I mean, I'm looking at the clock thinking, surely they've got to go direct if they want to make anything happen here, Liverpool. And, well, giving the ball away there is never a good idea. Poyana to Ederson. He hits it. Iturbe again makes another save. He must be in contention for man of the match. It's a really great stop by him. And this stings a little bit. You might be wondering, Jack, why is there a Streamer Showdown banner? Obviously, the Streamer Showdown was at the weekend. If you don't know what it is, check out the Streamer Showdown. I lost in the final of the Streamer Showdown at the weekend out of 9 streamers. I don't know. Does this feel bittersweet? It feels weird. I mean, even a week later, the Streamer Showdown is still haunting me for my loss in the final. That's really taken the shine off that Carabao Cup win, having to relive those memories of a cup final that I lost. Thank you, Football Manager. Was that Dyer doing a cartwheel? That was completely unnecessary, and I'm all for it. 1-0. We win the EFL Cup. We win the Carabao Cup. You know what? I'll take that. We'll take that. We keep the pattern going, everyone. We've now, as I said, won it 4 times in the last 7 years. Next year, we won't win it. That's fine. And with that, we win a famous treble. Because we've won the Community Shield, Super Cup, and Carabao Cup. Make of that what you will. Gonzalez out for 4 to 5 weeks. He is going to be out for the game against Barcelona. That is nothing short of a disaster. Adebayo, Ederson, get ready. I'm probably going to be looking at one of you boys to come up really, really big for us in a matter of weeks' time. Let's get forward to that Barcelona game. Sorry, Burnley. Sorry, West Ham. You're not as sexy as the fixture that's to come. Hopefully, we can turn around the 1-0 deficit. Whew. Okay, well, we've been here before, everyone. We know this situation. In fact, we've been in a worse situation than this against Barcelona. Of course, I'm talking about last season, where we met them at the exact same stage in the Champions League. On that occasion, we lost 4-1 away from home before a 4-0 home victory. Gonna need some more of that today. So hopefully that's possible. It feels a little unrealistic to expect a 4-0 win today, but we don't need 4-0. We just need better than 1-0. Of course, we didn't get an away goal, which could prove to be a bit of a problem. So really, I'm looking for a team performance to be proud of. It'd be safe to say that I didn't really get that against Burnley in the game that we played since we were last here. We just took them on, went to extra time in the FA Cup. That's really not what I needed during this very intense bit of kind of fixturing, where there's just matches one after the other. And, well, against West Ham, we did a little bit better. We won 3-1 in this one. Ederson got a goal, but it was actually 2 later goals that win us the game ultimately. The unbeaten season, though, in the Premier League, it's still going on. I don't want to jinx it. There's 9 games left. We've been very, very good as of late. 1 draw and a hell of a lot of wins. And he's still blooming good. Hopefully he's going to be blooming good for us today. Now, unfortunately, Gonzalez is out injured. We already knew that he wasn't going to be available after that Liverpool game. But another injury that's cropped in is Tarasov. Of course, the new kid on the block. The man signed at the start of this year for 87 million. He's not wowed me since he's come in. What it does mean is that we go back to Old Faithful. That's right. Lind is coming in. He's on advanced playmaker. He shouldn't be on advanced playmaker. He is a deep lying playmaker. And well, David, he's been left out the team a little bit this year, hasn't he? Been rotated around. He's back in on the big occasion. Elsewhere, bit of a decision to make up front. Who did I want to start at striker? Was it going to be Adebayo or was it going to be Ederson? In the end, I've gone with Adebayo. And I know when you look at these two players kind of directly compared, you could probably make a pretty good argument that Ederson is a slightly better player. I just feel like Adebayo, so far, statistically, has had a better season from a goal-scoring perspective. He gets over a goal every 90 minutes, 21 goals to his name, 2 assists. I feel like having Ederson as the super sub is still a pretty good situation to be in. So, yeah, that's the big headline decision really to be made, along with Lind coming back into the team. The rest of the squad is the team that you know and love. It's going to be Dyer in goal. Need a good performance from him today, of course. We failed to get an away goal, so remaining defensively strong is going to be vital to get a result. We've, of course, got the standard back four of Navio, Piccione, Peter Zak, and also Sampaio, De Volder, doing his thing as that ball-winning midfielder, the real kind of anchor to the team. In midfield, we've got Lind and Largo. They're rekindling their romance that was kind of lost this year. And then Devio, Adebayo up front. It's a team capable of getting goals. And at home, I almost expect us to turn around a 1-0 defeat. But whether or not we can do that, I suppose, is about to be answered. There is plenty of pressure on our shoulders. I want to get these back-to-back Champions Leagues. I feel like we have a team capable of doing it. We are taking on the team top of the league in Spain, in Barcelona. We are at home. It's our last ever season at the City Ground. And, well, Hamada, our actual player, is in goal. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. The decision to start Adebayo might be the right one. How's he got his head on that? I mean, what he's done there is he's jumped and he's headed it. That's how he's done it. But Hamada in goal, he's not going to stop that one. No clean sheet today. That suddenly makes this game very, very interesting. The first shot on goal from a corner, from a header, finds the back of the net. And well, things get tough. Of course, if Barcelona score 1, we're going to have to score 2 more. So really, I can't afford to sit back here. We need at least another goal to avoid extra time. The reality is we're probably going to need 3. For as good as we've been defensively, I think it would be naive to expect us to keep a clean sheet here against this Barcelona team. But maybe history is going to repeat itself. I would like to believe so. Largo to Adebayo making a run through the middle. The ball to him is superb and he finds the back of the net. Friendship ended with Gonzalez. Adebayo is my new best friend now. Timed his run to perfection. The ball through by was delightful as well. Surprised that was given so much space to run into. The defence, they backed off him. He found himself in the channel, waited that pass through inch perfectly. The finish wasn't too bad either, was it, by Adebayo? Slots it into the bottom corner. 2-0 on the night. 2 shots, they've both gone in. We are looking clinical. Hamada, he's doing well so far for them. He's doing what we need him to do, which is not really making any saves. Anyway, Navio with the throw in here. Of course, with 2 goals scored, this game cannot go to extra time. And oh my word, I thought we were about to get a third. Unfortunately, the flag has gone up. It would have been offside. It'd be fair to say this half an hour to open the game has gone about as well as we could hope. We are bullying them, not in a dissimilar manner to when we played them previously. Adebayo, he's been at the heart of everything we've done so far. He's tackled, but it falls to Largo. Skips past his man, tries to find falls back to Largo, comes back to He doesn't like big games. He doesn't like big games. Stop it, it's a joke. Oh dear, Largo with the assist. A little bit of fortune about the way the ball that was intercepted quite well by the defender fell straight back to Largo here. You thought when he missed that initial pass, that might be the opportunity gone. Hamada doing what we pay him for there, not making any saves. Had words with him after the first leg. I mean, I didn't know if it could happen again. I mean, this is almost more emphatic than when it happened before. Of course, last time we took on Barcelona and we were 4-1 down, it was kind of 0-0 for about the first 40 minutes. We had to go on the offensive. This is a very different situation we find ourselves in. Although if they get one, which they very nearly did, it wouldn't have been over. It wouldn't be over. I mean, it's still not over, really. Look, we're 3-1 up, but they only need 2 goals here. Football Manager can be a cruel mistress, but right now, she's treating us pretty nicely. I'm going to tell the players I'm happy. Maybe a slight risk of some complacency sneaking in, so I'm going to follow it up with a demand more, which everyone except has loved. And early on in this half, I'm going to take off Lind and I'm going to bring in Adrian Smith and I'm going to take off Devio and I'm going to bring in Poyana. Just because they're not really showing up and we have the quality on our bench to just throw on, you know, some of the best players in world football in second halves like it's absolutely nothing. Hopefully they're going to have an impact here as well. Barcelona get a goal through Holzo Alvarez. And suddenly it's 3-2. They need one more to be going through on away goals. This is not over yet. And with 20 minutes left, I have to weigh up the possibility of potentially starting to defend a little more. I don't really want to go more defensive because we've played pretty well in this game, but they are starting to commit men forward. And I feel like with that in mind, we might just want to defend a little more. Nothing too drastic in terms of changes, just the fullbacks don't need to get forward now. They don't need to do anything silly. We don't need to run at defences anymore. I want us to start to kill the clock a little bit of game management required here for the last 10 minutes. Suddenly, it's got nervy. I need another. A goal and we can relax. A goal here for them and we would need another. Piotr has picked it up. Gives it to Devolder. We've got a fair few men forward here. Piotr, Devolder. Lovely build-up play here. Devolder to Adrian Smith. Poyana now. The subs linking up. Navio on the overlap. Players queuing up in the middle. Smith picks it up again. He is going to be dispossessed in a dangerous area. They spring the counter-attack. And well, the shot goes just wide of the mark. That is as big a warning as you are going to see. Slow down the pace a little bit. Keep it simple. That's all I can really ask. I want to shout demand more or something, but I can't. The time is trickling away and we are going to get away with it. That was not comfortable at the end, was it? One little bit. As soon as they scored from that free kick, you started to wonder. What I would say there is they got better in the second half and they started creating a fair few shots. As soon as we slowed down the play, played a bit time-wasty, kind of tuned ourselves into the dark arts of kind of game management, it did kind of slow down a fair bit. And what I noticed there was we did kind of look a lot better. They didn't really create anything late on besides that one highlight that we saw. Anyway, we are going to go into the Champions League quarterfinals, which is quite nice. We overturn a deficit against Barcelona. Maybe it is them who are going to be sick of being drawn against us. Erk got 2 assists and a goal. He's incredible, isn't he? I think Erk is becoming player of the series. I don't even think that's a controversial statement to make at this point. Signed for 9.5 million, he has now been here for 8 years as a regular player. Someone who we've shown so much patience in. And this year has been one of his best seasons ever. Not quite got the same average rating he did a few years ago where he got 13 player of the matches. But of course, plays in a much higher quality team now. He has been very, very good for us this year. So superb by him in this game as well, which is always great to see. Anyway, we do get a win there, which means we are going to be marching on forwards. You can see here, lots of teams yet to play in the Champions League, so the draw is not going to be for a little while. So I'll leave it all up in the air. Next time, we will be back for the quarterfinals. I don't know exactly when it's going to be. It's sometime in the future. I mean, you can see here, it's not actually going to be that far away. It's going to be around the start of April. Before then, we should have had our youth intake, which, sadly, I've been told not to expect much from, which is disappointing, to say the very least. But at this point, I'm kind of used to it. Anyway, guys, that is a great result against Barcelona. The dream of the back-to-back Champions Leagues goes on. The dream of an unbeaten season is still very much alive. This could be a year that we win everything. We are not too many games away from potentially making that happen. Hopefully, you're going to enjoy the ride over the next few episodes. If you're enjoying the series, as always, drop a like on the video. We'll see you guys again soon. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.